As a mobile ministry who partners with a mobile population being served by a chaplain who will stay in one location for at most 3 years, it's difficult to keep track of those we serve. Thank you for sharing the impact an event made in the life of a previous participant. Tonight, we get to spend a few minutes with another past participant, Logan Hormor. In 2012, this young medic was stationed at Fort Benning with the 4th Ranger Training Battalion. He accepted the invitation of Chaplain Dana Michael Kroll and the nudge of his command to participate in an adventure retreat.
Hey Logan, how are you?
I'm good. Good evening, James. How are you doing?
Good evening. It's been 7 years since we've talked face to face. Where have you been?
Everywhere. I've lived all over the U.S. Since I left the military in 2013. So literally every corner, New Hampshire, Washington, now I'm in Arizona.
Wow. So when you're in the military at Fort Benning, you came on a couple of single soldier retreats. Why did you participate in the very first one?
So the very first one, I was kind of had it forced on me by my chain of command because it was a newer project they were doing. And so what had happened is they approached me. They're like, hey, Logan, you want to go on the single soldiers retreat? Because there's not a ton of single soldiers at that unit. Sorry about my eye. And then I was like, no. They're like, well, we're going to pay for it and give you days off. And it's rock climbing. So I was like, fine, I'll go. And I ended up going, and it was a life-changing experience, to say the least.
Tell me how.
My experience with Bible camps and spiritual retreats and such has been very, very, very Bible thumpy, and like I have a hard time understanding that things because something pushes against me, I'm going to push back. That's just what I do. And the reason why it changed my life so much is I went to a camp where it was great men, godly Christian men trying to help young men find their way. And that's exactly what you and Benchmark did for me. It started me on my righteous path to find God and be a better student for him so I could serve others better.
Wow. Why did you come back for a second one?
Just for that reason, to help out other people and get more people to go, because everybody knew me at the unit. And so if I was like, guys, trust me, it's so much fun. And there is Christian stuff, which is also fun. But it was truly a life-changing experience. So I would be a crazy person to not sign up for a second one and to see my buddy James again.
So after all these years, tell me how those retreats have affected where you are today.
So like I said, it's a point in my life that was one of the biggest shifts that ever happened. I always said to myself, I was a believer. I always said, yeah, I believe in God, like very casual, like, oh yeah, I believe in God. But after that trip, it taught me to be a far better student and really studying God's preaching the way that it's supposed to be done, just so I could help, like I said, other young people try to find that guidance and path that leads them to the light, to help them realize their blessings that they've been given.
And it seems like that's exactly where you are now.
100%. I've never been happier in my entire life, James. I wake up every morning with a smile. I roll out of bed with my crickety joints, and I thank God I'm still living and 6 feet above the ground, because some days I look back at my life and I think, how did he allow me to survive this long out of some of the things I've done?
Isn't God so gracious to us both?
Completely. I know I still have work to do for him on this earth. I know that much.
I'm sure you do, and so do I.
Yeah.
Logan, it's so good to talk to you this evening. I'm so thankful that you've spent these few minutes with me. Thank you so very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure, James. I love you, brother, and stay in touch, please.
I love you too.
All right, bye now.
God bless you.
Logan, such a hopeful perspective. An invitation to camp, some climbing, and look what a gracious God can do with that. Starting a young man on his righteous path.